I'm going to tell you something your parents lied to you about. Work hard, get good grades, go to college, get a job, and you'll be rich. That's a lie. And I can prove it using carrots. See, in America right now, there are 10 levels of wealth. And most people, they're stuck on level 3 or 4 their entire lives, working 40 years, paying taxes, following the rules, and they die broke. Meanwhile, there's people on level 8, 9, 10 who haven't worked a real job in 20 years, and they're adding more carrots to their pile while they sleep. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through every single level, starting from the bottom, and I'm going to show you the game that's being played, the one nobody talks about. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it, and maybe you'll stop playing by the wrong rules. Let's go. Level 1. Extreme poverty, $2.15 per day. That's it. That's what you got. Now, I know what you're thinking. Roger, that's terrible, but that's not me. That's people in other countries. Wrong. Right now in America, in the richest country on earth, there are over 500,000 people living at this level. You know where? Skid Row in LA, rural Appalachia, parts of Detroit, Baltimore, New Orleans. And here's the messed up part. Some of these people had jobs, had homes, had normal lives, medical bill, divorce, layoff, addiction. 4 things. That's all it took to go from middle class to this. At this level, you're not thinking about retirement plans or investment strategies. You're thinking, where do I sleep tonight? Where's my next meal? The carrots you do get, they come from food banks, shelters, government assistance, and let me tell you something else nobody wants to admit. The system is designed to keep you here. You get government benefits. They disappear the second you make $1 over the limit. So you can't take that part-time job because you'd lose your food stamps, your Medicaid, your housing voucher. You'd actually be worse off working. It's not a safety net. It's a trap. And climbing out, you're basically trying to escape quicksand. The harder you struggle, the deeper you sink. That's level 1 in America, land of opportunity. Level 2, poverty. You're making money now, maybe 15, 20,000 carats a year. You work, you have a job, maybe 2 jobs. But you're still broke. You know what poverty in America looks like in 2026? It's not what you think. It's the single mom working 2 jobs. Still can't afford childcare. It's the guy who drives Uber after his 9 to 5. Car breaks down. Now he's screwed. It's the family living in a motel because they can't save enough for first, last, and deposit on an apartment. Here's what people don't understand. In America, being poor is expensive. You can't afford to buy in bulk. So you pay more per item. You can't afford a car. So you take the bus. Takes 3 times as long. You lose hours you could be working. You can't afford a bank account. Minimum balance fees. So you cash your check at a payday place. They take 10%. You can't afford to buy quality. So you buy cheap. It breaks. You buy again. Rich guy buys 1 pair of boots for 100 carats. Last 10 years. Poor guy buys 10 pairs of boots for 20 carats each. Over 10 years. Same result. Rich guy spent 100. Poor guy spent 200. Being poor costs more. And the psychological part, that's what really breaks people. You're making decisions every single day that rich people never think about. Do I pay the electric bill or buy groceries? Do I fix my tooth or pay rent? Do I put gas in my car or get my kid's prescription filled? Every single day. That's called decision fatigue, and it destroys you. Level 2, you're working, you're trying, you're broke anyway. Level 3, lower middle class, 30 to 50,000 carats a year. You made it out. Barely, you're breathing. This is where most of America actually lives, but nobody wants to admit they're here. You know what lower middle class looks like in 2026? You got a place, it's not fancy, but it's yours. Or you're renting, but it's stable. You got a car, it runs. You pray every day it keeps running, because if it doesn't, you got a job. Healthcare through your employer. The insurance is terrible, but you got it. Here's the thing about this level. You're stable, but you're one emergency away from disaster. Car accident, medical issue, lose your job. That's it. You're back to level 2. Maybe level 1. You got like 1,200 carats in savings, if you're lucky. The average car repair, 1,500. You see the problem. So what do people at this level do? Credit cards, they finance everything, the couch, the TV, the new phone. Not because they're irresponsible, because that's the only way to maintain a normal life on this income. Your life becomes a spreadsheet of minimum payments, car payment, credit card 1, credit card 2, student loans, phone bill, internet, insurance. And here's the wild part. You're doing everything right. You went to school, you show up to work, you pay your bills, you're responsible, and you're still barely making it. That's lower middle class in America. You're not poor, you're not comfortable, you're just surviving. And the American dream is starting to feel like a scam. Now here's where things get interesting, because at level 3, you're trading time for carrots, 40 hours a week, every week for 40 years. But starting at level 4, the game changes. And if you don't understand how it changes, you're going to be stuck at level 3 forever. Pay attention to this next part. Level 4, middle class, 50 to 150,000 carats a year. This is the American dream, right? This is what everyone's shooting for. Let me tell you something about the middle class in 2026. They're broke too. Wait, what? How? Because lifestyle inflation is real. You make more money, you spend more money. Simple as that. You're making 100,000 carats? Nice. After taxes, 75,000. Okay. Mortgage on a decent house, 30,000 a year. 2 car payments because you deserve new cars. 12,000. Student loans for both of you, 10,000. Childcare so you can both work, 15,000. Insurance, utilities, food, gas, 20,000. You're at 87,000. You got 13,000 left. Oh, but wait, kids need clothes, activities, sports. You want to take a vacation? You deserve it, right? You work hard. Christmas, birthdays, unexpected repairs. That 13,000 gone. Middle class in America means you make good money and you're still living paycheck to paycheck because the middle class is the most marketed to demographic in human history. You need this car, you need this house, you need to take your kids to Disney. You need the new iPhone. You need to keep up with your neighbors. And you know what's crazy? The middle class pays the most taxes. Poor people, they're not paying much. They don't have it. Rich people, they got accountants, loopholes, offshore accounts. Middle class, you're W-2 employees. They take it right out of your check before you even see it. Level 4, you made it to the American dream. And you're stressed, tired, and broke. Welcome to the middle class. Level 5, upper middle class, 150 to 400,000 carats a year. Now we're talking. This is where life gets comfortable. But here's the secret about this level. Nobody tells you. You're still not rich. You know what happens at this level? You start hanging around other people at this level, and they all have lake houses, they all take ski trips, they all drive German cars. So you do too, because that's what people at this level do. Your kid wants to play travel hockey? That's 15,000 carats a year. Private school, 30,000 per kid. Oh, you want to join the country club? 50,000 initiation fee plus 2,000 a month. Here's what's insidious about this level. You're making 300,000 carats a year. That's more than 95% of Americans, and you feel broke. How is that possible? Because your reference group changed. When you made 50,000, you compared yourself to people making 30. You felt pretty good. Now you make 300,000. You compare yourself to people making $1 million, you feel poor. It's called the hedonic treadmill, and it's brutal. And here's the other thing at this level. You can't quit. You know, you got a mortgage on $1 million house, you got private school tuition, you got car payments on a BMW and a Mercedes. All right, everything we've talked about so far, level 1 through 5, those are people who work for their carats. But we're about to cross a line. And on the other side of this line, these people don't work for carats anymore. The carats work for them. And once you understand this difference, everything about America starts to make sense. Level 6, affluent, 500,000 to 2 million carats a year. Now we're in territory where only 1 or 2% of Americans live. You know what changes at this level? Options. You got options now. That's the difference. You don't have to work anymore. But most people here still do because they like what they do or they're building something. But here's the key. If you wanted to stop tomorrow, you could. Your investments throw off enough carats every year that you could live on them. Maybe not your current lifestyle, but you could live. At this level, you're not putting carats in a 401k and hoping. You're buying rental properties. You're angel investing in startups. You're buying businesses. Your money is making more money. And here's where it gets really interesting. The tax code favors you now. Capital gains, taxed lower than income. Real estate depreciation, write-offs everywhere. Business expenses. Your Tesla is a business expense. Remember how I said middle class pays the most taxes? At this level, your effective tax rate might be lower than someone making 60,000 because you know how to use the system. What does life look like here? You fly first class, sometimes private if it makes sense. Your kids go to elite private schools. You're not checking prices at restaurants. You have a financial advisor, an accountant, maybe a lawyer on retainer. But here's what people don't know about this level. You got a target on your back, lawsuits, people asking for money, friends with business ideas. Everybody wants a piece. Level 6, you made it, you're actually wealthy. And it comes with a whole new set of problems. Level 7, upper affluent, 2 to 10 million carats a year, less than 0.5% of Americans. You are the 0.1%. At this level, work is optional. Fully optional. Most people here either run large companies, sold a business, or they're top-tier professionals, surgeons, big law partners, hedge fund managers. But here's what's different. At level 6, you were comfortable. At level 7, you have power. You can influence things now. You donate to political campaigns. They take your calls. You're on charity boards. You have a say. You invest in businesses. They listen to you. You got access now. Clubs that don't advertise. Restaurants you can't get into unless you know someone. Events that aren't public. You know why? Because this is where deals get made. The difference between level 6 and level 7 isn't really the money. It's the network. At level 7, you know people who can make things happen. You need a permit. You know someone. Your kid wants to get into an Ivy League. You know someone. You need capital for a deal? You know someone. This is where the game really is. Poor people think money solves everything. Rich people know it's relationships. Level 7, you're not just wealthy, you're connected. And that's more valuable than the carats. Level 8, millionaire. Wait, Roger, shouldn't millionaire be higher? Here's the thing about being a millionaire in 2026. It's not what it used to be. Million carats in 1980, you were set. Million carats in 2026, you're comfortable, but you're not rich. Let me put it this way. You got 1 million carats in investments, 4% withdrawal rate. That's the standard. 40,000 carats a year to live on. That's middle class. You're not poor, but you're not exactly on yachts either. Here's what people don't understand. Most millionaires in America, they're your neighbors. They drive a 10-year-old Toyota, they live in a modest house, they don't look rich because they didn't get rich by spending money. They got rich by not spending money. The average American millionaire never made more than $150,000 a year. They just saved 20% of everything they made for 30 years, lived below their means, invested in boring stuff. You didn't touch it. Meanwhile, their neighbor making $300,000, driving a Range Rover, huge house, designer everything. Net worth, negative $200,000. They look rich. They're broke. The millionaire next door looks normal, actually wealthy. Level 8, being a millionaire matters, just not as much as you think. Level 9, multimillionaire, 10 to 100 million carats net worth. Now we're talking real money. At this level, you're not worried about anything financial, ever. Your kids? Set. Grandkids? Set. Great-grandkids? Set. But here's what's interesting. Multimillionaires don't think about money the same way. They don't think, how do I make more money? They think, how do I protect what I have? At this level, you got teams. Estate planning attorneys, tax strategists, wealth managers. Your money is in trusts. LLCs, foundations. You know why? Lawsuits, divorce, taxes, creditors. When you got this many carrots, everyone's trying to take some. So you build walls. Your money is invested in things normal people don't even know exist. Private equity, hedge funds, syndications, farmland, oil wells, tax liens. You're not buying stocks on Robinhood. And here's the big shift. You're not thinking about your life anymore. You're thinking about the next 100 years. How do I set up my family so my great-great-grandkids are taken care of? That's a different game. Level 9. You're not just rich, you're building a dynasty. Level 10. Billionaire. Final boss. Let me tell you something about billionaires in America. There's only about 700 of them. In a country of 330 million people, you got 700 billionaires. That's 0.0002%. You know what a billion is? If you made 5,000 carats a day, every day, since Columbus discovered America, you still wouldn't have a billion carats. That's how much a billion is. At this level, money isn't even real anymore. It's just numbers on a screen that represent power. Billionaires don't buy things. They buy influence, access, control. And here's what nobody wants to admit. You don't become a billionaire by working hard. You become a billionaire by owning systems. Bezos didn't deliver a billion packages. He built a system where millions of people deliver packages. Zuckerberg didn't post a billion times. He built a system where billions of people post. Musk didn't build a million cars. He built a system that builds cars. That's the secret. Systems, leverage, scale. One billionaire's decision affects millions of lives. They're not playing the same game anymore. They're playing a game most people don't even know exists. Level 10, billionaire, you're not just wealthy, you're basically a small country. So there it is, 10 levels of wealth in America. And here's what I want you to understand. The system is designed to keep you at level 3 or 4, working your whole life, paying your taxes, consuming. That's what they want. Because if everyone figured out how to get to level 6, 7, 8, who would do the work? But here's the good news. Now you see the game, and you can't unsee it. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Drop a comment. Tell me what level you're at, what level you're going to. Hit subscribe, because we're just getting started. I'm Roger, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't eat all your carrots in one place.